All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in from the break here on the hottest show on the streets, the number one forum for Crimson Tide football news, in my own words, with yours truly, Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Appreciating everybody for tuning into the show on today, for lighting us up there in that first call segment with your thoughts, your events, your concerns about one Pete Golding, the defensive coordinator. But I honestly feel like he is going to be better than fine in this matchup, not only against Ole Miss, but throughout the season here for the Crimson Tide. Before we get into now, final topic of conversation, got to remind you of TDAwear.com. That is TDAwear.com. Get your shopping done right here. I'm telling you, if you want the best in Alabama football apparel, you are a Bama football fan. You crave it, you want it, you love it, you value it. You can't breathe without this football program. Go to TDAwear.com, where you can pick up all sorts of shirts, all sorts of hoodies, all sorts of apparel. If your thing is the I Love Hearing Touchdown Alabama shirts, the We Want Football shirts, the Let Them Play shirts, or all the hoodies you can fit yourself in, we got you covered right here. TDAwear.com. That is TDAwear.com, showing your support for Coach Saban, the University of Alabama football program, the student athletes, and of course us here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine. But we go to the final topic here of conversation, and that being one, Lane Kiffin, head coach of Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin. And once again, I mentioned this before, when you talk to different fans, some Bama fans, some, rival fans, when you look at members of national media, some of national media, a few guys in the local media, when you talk to just people in general, despite the success of Kirby Smart and the success of Jeremy Pruitt and the success of other guys that have coached under Saban, people feel like this is the dude right here. Lane Kiffin is the dude right here to end the streak of, former Saban assistants that have yet to beat the big-time head coach, the six-time national champion head coach. Now, Saban is 20-0 all-time against his former assistants. The latest guy he defeated was, on last week, Jimbo Fisher by the score of 52-24 in Bryant-Denny. And now, me personally, I don't know the relationship that Nick and Jimbo had in LSU. Really don't know. When Jim McElwain was at Alabama as the offensive coordinator from 2008 to 2011, Coach Mack basically stayed in the press box the whole time. So the only three coaches that Saban really had sort of that interaction with on the field was Kirby Smart, Jeremy Pruitt, and of course Lane Kiffin. Now, when it came down to Smart and Pruitt, when Saban would get mad and throw the headset down and chew them out and cuss them out and say stuff to them, just when the cameras were panned on Smart and Pruitt, it just looked like both of those guys were just sitting there taking it. Now, they probably were not just sitting there taking it. When the cameras were off them, they probably said some things back at Coach Saban. They probably popped back off at Coach Saban. But when the cameras were panned on Pruitt and Smart, it just looked like from where the cameras were panned on them that Saban would be giving it to them and yelling at them and throwing stuff and just all in their face. Yeah! It just felt like those two were just sitting there taking it. Now, Lane Kiffin, the chameleon, on the other hand, when the cameras were panned at, when those two were getting at it at times from the sideline, Kiffin was firing back at Saban. Kiffin was saying some stuff and looking at Nick and throwing his hands up at Coach Saban like he was kind of giving it back to him a little bit. So that's sort of maybe, one of the emphasis as to why people feel like Kiffin would be the guy to get this done in terms of one day, taking down Coach Saban if he is to do so. Another reason is why, Kiffin's one of those guys that's just not afraid to take shots. And he's always been that way. He's never been afraid to take shots. He's never been afraid to dial up different calls. He's never been afraid to kind of walk on the wild side a little bit. His whole coaching career has been walking on the wild side a little bit. And when you discuss his time at Alabama from 2014 to 16. Did a lot of great things as the OC in Tuscaloosa. I mean, you look at 2 3,000-yard quarterbacks in Blake Sims and Jacob Coker. You're looking at a couple of 1,000-yard backs in Damian Harris and Derrick Henry. A 2,000-yard back in Derrick Henry. 2 1,000-yard receivers in Amari Cooper and Calvin Ridley. A Biletnikoff Award winner in Amari Cooper. A Heisman winner in Derrick Henry. 3 SEC championships. 1 national title. I mean, Lane Kiffin did a lot when he was at the University of Alabama, and you still have people that feel like Kiffin is a better offensive mind than Sarkisian is, so that'll be a good chess match there between Kiffin and Sark, over the weekend. But Nick Saban putting his record on the line again this week versus Lane Kiffin, as this October he's facing a chunk of his former assistants. He faced Jimbo Fisher last week, Scott Kiffin this week. We'll have Kirby Smart next week, Jeremy Pruitt down the road with Tennessee. So this is the month Saban's facing a lot of his former assistants, but is Lane Kiffin the one to be that guy that can finally get the assistant coaches over the hump? Will he be the assistant coach to finally get that first loss on Saban's record against former assistants and the first win on the record for the pupils in trying to knock out the teacher? Now, he said some really good things. He paid some big homage to Coach Saban at Alabama in his press conference today, when he's in the SEC teleconference today, when talking about one of the questions thrown to Kiffin was about Alabama's offense. He was like, man, I wish it was the old offense that we faced when we were at Tennessee, and they barely beat us 12-10, but they didn't score any touchdowns in that game. Now they're just unstoppable. They're able to throw the football. They got a third receiver that I never heard about, this Mechie guy. He's clicking. So this is going to be a tough challenge for us in this football game. So he's thrown some praise there at Coach Saban. He's thrown some adoration there at Coach Saban. But is he the guy? Is he the one this week that has the best chance, that has the best opportunity to really get this win here over Coach Saban? Now, he's got to recruit some defense. Kiffin's got to recruit some defense because that defense over there is lacking. But is he the one to put himself in the best possible opportunity to get that first win for former assistant coaches against Coach Saban? We shall see. But as always, people, you want the best in news, notes, information, and coverage here on your Crimson Tide. It's very simple and easy to do this, to access this. You can get this by downloading the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You can download it from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you have the Android phone. For your audio listening needs, we got you covered here on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, Overcast.fm, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back on Friday continuing the talk that is Alabama football. As always, Bama fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those sent to your door. Link will be found in the description. But till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives, appreciate, value those husbands, children. School is in. Continue to do those things legitimately now to not be bored. Be sure to get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself. Protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and this has been In My Own Words. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.